Give me some of that wine and waivers. Explicit podcast.
And I am just here for the booze. No, I'm just kidding.
I think we all are.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's Wine and Waivers here.
What's going on?
So
I say that every single time.
Tanya doesn't like to stray far from what she is comfortable with.
Not at all.
So we're down Karlee again this week. She's not joining us. She had a little incident that she threw out her back pretty severely. So she's down and out for the count right now, like pretty much bedridden at this point.
How did she do this, by the way?
She was like bouncing around on an exercise ball and like jolted her hips out of whack is what she said, but I'm like,
Are you sure about that?
Might have been something else, but no, I'm kidding. I'm sure I don't know. But so she won't be joining us this week. And also she did lose our challenge last week, which it was decided that she was going to be the one jumping in the freezing cold pool, which I feel like nobody probably believes us that it's freezing cold because we live in Florida, but we can vouch for, and we will have her thermometer showing.
Florida's been a little chilly the past week or so.
Like the past month or so. So it's not pleasant. So as soon as Karlee is able to do anything besides lay in bed, we will get her challenge posted for you guys for your entertainment purposes. Mm-hmm. And with that in mind, I need to get all the ums out of my system because that is going to be our hot word of the week.
Yeah, you've already said it like 3 times.
Well, it doesn't count
I know.
Yet. But Karlee, Tanya and I feel like that's a word that her and I say a lot of.
All the time.
Yeah. So we're going to try to make this our hot word, and we're also, or it is going to be our hot word, we're going to try not to be using it. And we're also...
oh my gosh, I just thought of something really funny.
What?
Before we start, because I have to use the word. Like that. So in I think it was one of my business classes in college, my professor it was a lot of like public speaking, and we had to practice, and every time we would say the word she would ring this loud ass fucking bell.
Ew.
And like for probably I'd say the next like 4 semesters, like the entire year, every time somebody said when we were giving presentations, because being a marketing major,
yeah, that's like all you do.
That's all we do. We have to public speak. But she literally keeps saying it, so I'm glad we're not starting yet. So she would always ring that bell, and like the entire year, every time someone would say it, I would just hear a little ding in my brain.
Yeah, you just like, you hear it in your brain, even if it's not happening.
Like twitch every time.
She feels like she's like getting shocked to her head, like whenever she hears that word. Okay, so from starting here on out, that's going to be our hot word, so it's going to be very challenging for us. And
clearly, with the amount of times both of us have already said it.
Yeah, I just said it again, actually.
I know.
So we're going to do a red and a rosé this week. I actually just got a rosé for a gift for my birthday, and it's called Yes Way Rosé. And I'm not drinking it tonight.
Girl. I love it.
Yeah, that's literally what it's called, Yes Way Rosé. I'm not drinking it tonight, but I'm excited to give this one a try. I plan to maybe tap into this possibly this weekend. I just did it again.
Yes.
It's, I can say, that's
yeah,
my word.
I know. That's what I've been trying to think to do.
12.5%. And I mean, it's a typical rosé, so I'm excited to try it. We'll see how it goes. And our red that we're suggesting this week is from a local winery down here in Tampa, Florida, called Cooper's Hawk. And we told you guys that we were going to be trying to give you some holiday wines. And when I say holiday wines, I mean like a spiced type of wine, something that you can heat up on the stove, like I've talked to you guys about before. And so the one that we're giving you from Cooper's Hawk is called Winter Red. And anyways, it's, I just did it again. I can't wait till I don't have to talk anymore, so I don't have to risk saying it. It's just a blend of red wines and mulling spices, and it's $13.99, and it's 13.5%. And even though it is local to us here in Tampa, Florida, you can still order their wines online and have them delivered to you. And I highly, highly suggest it. So good in the wintertime. And like I said, it's just really great for warming up. And
really nice up in like the really cold areas.
Yeah. And so I'm going up north for the holidays, and we have a ton of wineries up there, and I plan to have some good ones to bring back to give to you guys for suggestions. And going off of that, let's do a recap of our waiver picks last week. Actually, are you going to be able to do Karlee's picks?
Yeah, I can do her.
All right, cool. Let me do mine real quick while I'm just rolling through everything else. I apologize. My pick again sucked this past week. My lizard fucking asshole suggestion only got like 2.5 points or something stupid.
Yeah.
Not worth mentioning, but my kicker,
give yourself some credit.
My kicker did pretty well though. He ended up with 11 points. So Siebert, Mr. Seaman Siebert did me justice and got 11. So if any of you guys picked him up, you're welcome.
Also, the whole thing with Diane's picks from like 2 weeks ago, always doing well. Did you see Young Ho-Koo got like 22 points or something?
I know. He's been literally rocking out with
Young
it.
Ho. All right. So I will just get Karlee's out of the way because both of hers did not really show up.
Surprise, surprise.
Peyton Barber got 6.3 and Jack Doyle got 3.7.
I'm actually surprised that Peyton Barber didn't do better than he did, especially with Mike Evans,
Mike Evans got
getting
hurt.
injured.
But I guess that was, how early was that? That was pretty early.
Really early. He got one touchdown and he got injured, and I was like,
it was just one play. Hey, if you're going to go down, that's the way to do it, I say.
So for anyone who doesn't know and probably doesn't care, but I'm going to tell you anyways, I'm actually in the playoffs right now, and I have Mike Evans as my like number one wide receiver. So he got injured, and I was like, oh great, well that's it. And I happened to flex in Austin Eckler, and he did amazing. I got lucky on that. But I asked my boyfriend for advice on who I should start for my defense this week. I had the Bills, the Rams, or the 49ers. And he's like, oh, you should do the 49ers, and gave a whole backstory as to why I should. And I did. And girls, this is why we started a girls fantasy football podcast. Don't listen to your boyfriends. Do your research and pick someone yourself, because they ended up with -8. And if I lose, I'm blaming it on the 49ers, and I'm blaming it on my boyfriend.
Y'all better pray for Josh.
Yeah, seriously.
Diane beats him.
I was already giving him a lot of shit because I was like,
I was afraid to be in the room when.
Yeah, it was just going down like by the second. I looked at it, and it was -4, and I'm like, Josh, what the fuck? Next thing I know, as I'm sitting there looking at it drops another -4 to -8, and I was just like, this is unfucking believable. So moral of the story, if you're in the playoffs, do your research. Don't ask anyone else what to do, because
then you're just going to blame everybody.
Yeah, or if you just want someone to blame, you don't want to take accountability for losing, then go ahead and ask everybody else and do what they say.
Whatever your morals show. All right, so my pick for Kyle Allen did pretty well, 18.1. I'd say that's good.
Yeah.
And then Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh boy.
He only got 14.3.
But I do want to say, you were saying that Philip Lindsay, you didn't think he was going to have too great of a game, but he actually did have a great game.
I didn't really pay attention what he get, you know?
I don't know, it was in the teens, but that was surprising because...
Yeah. Well,
because it was him or somebody else who was
Benny Snell. So
Snell did horrible.
Snell did awful. He should have done so much better.
Dude, I almost took Eckler out and put Snell.
Yeah,
in. Could you imagine?
I don't know if that would overpower your anger towards Josh or not.
Yeah, I would have literally been in a really fucking bad spot if I would have done that. Like, that would have been
canceled everything. She's like,
yeah, I would have been like, I'm done.
Shit.
Show's canceled.
Podcast is off.
Everything's done. I give up. I officially suck at fantasy football, and that's the end of it. So for those guys who listen to my picks and they're like, man, Diane actually like really sucks. I actually don't really suck. I actually am in the playoffs in both of my leagues.
Yeah, she is doing well. And also, sorry, Victor, for steering you wrong in that direction.
Yeah, honestly. Snell at one point had like -points. So he's probably like, fuck you, Tanya.
Probably, but it's okay. I've steered him right every other week. So I'll just do one. That's bad. So also for defense, the Jets sucked against Miami. They got 3 points.
Oh my God.
I know.
Well,
at least they're not the Eagles from last week.
They both suck. So.
And then the Colts did just average, got 6. Like, nothing special, nothing terrible.
I would have taken 6 points.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what. -8 is a real fucking slap to the tits and not a good way. Like, that is so upsetting to me. So speaking of slaps to the tits, I'm sorry that we don't really have any sexual antics for you. This week we have a pretty good story, but we're going to let Karlee tell it because, of course, it's her spotlight. And I feel like this is probably the best one.
Honestly.
Yeah, honestly. Like, if you don't want to listen to this show, you don't have to listen to this week just because we don't have any sex antics for you. Tanya and I have pretty simple lives.
Yeah.
But what happened to Karlee this past weekend, like, completely takes the cake for any story that she's had for us. Like,
it really does.
1000%. I can't even believe that this was reality and happened. So,
also, I'm happy I finally met Nipple Guy. I was drunk.
Oh, yeah, you did
met
meet him. And I like him. I had a long conversation with him.
He looks way different than I was expecting for some reason.
Yeah,
I pictured him so much different.
Yeah, I think he's
he's very nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a good-looking guy. So.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's ugly. He has a great personality.
I'm just saying, like, don't worry. At least the guy's nipples that Karlee's going hard on has a good personality. Okay. No, like I just feel like the way that he gets talked about on the show, like you kind of have in your head that he's like this nerdy freak that like is on like the Geek Squad or some shit. Like that he just
looks so much different than what I was expecting.
But no,
and I don't even really know what I was expecting. I didn't even try to like envision him, but like when I met him, I was just like,
well,
you're a nipple guy?
Thinking of like some people that maybe like he hangs around with. Or mutual, not he hangs around with, but like mutual friends.
That's probably, you know
how we know
he
him.
looks way nicer. Oh, I shouldn't say that. We're gonna have to cut that out.
What were you say?
He looks way nicer and like put together than his friends.
Oh my God! No, because nobody knows who we're talking about. Because you're not talking about the mutual friend that we know him through. You're talking about their friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're fine. All right, so let's get into the injuries and drama that we have this week.
Yeah, my number one story for the drama I thought was hilarious, and Diane was like really hoping that this actually happened.
Oh my gosh, I was literally praying that this was going to happen.
So the Chiefs' luggage was left behind on the plane. I said,
I got it.
It was left behind on the plane right before the game against the Patriots. Of course, it's the Patriots. Everyone's going to think that the Patriots had something to do with it because. Oh my
gosh, I didn't even think about that, but now that you say that, fuck yeah. They probably paid someone.
Oh my God, no. But they almost had to forfeit, and Diane was really, really hoping that was the case, even though it was against the Patriots, because in the playoffs, she's playing against Mahomes.
Yeah, so the girl that I'm playing against has Mahomes, and I'm like, oh my God. After the damn 49ers got -8, and I was like, I need all the help that I can get, so please let Patrick Mahomes not be playing today, but he had a shitty game anyway, so it doesn't matter.
He hurt his hand.
That's another thing. Everybody, okay, so I feel like a lot of people talk about, like Tom Brady being a whiner. I feel like Eli Manning got pegged as a whiner a lot too, which he just looks like a fucking whiner. Like
he's starting tonight.
I know, which I can't even believe that.
Danny Dimes, poor boy, he went down.
Yeah, speaking of injuries, that's another injury is Danny Dimes. So we have Eli Manning starting, which I don't know. I can't get on the Eli Manning train. But I was just going to say, I feel that, I'm sure I've said this before, but I just feel like Mahomes is such a fucking whiner. Like, he's such a baby. Like, I feel like.
Whiner of the week.
Yeah, no. I feel like if I'm trying to think of Rodgers. I feel like if Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees were to like hurt their hand, like okay, they would hurt it.
Literally, Drew Brees did hurt his hand.
Okay, but they'd hurt it and they'd either be out or they'd be in and they would deal with it. But it was like literally like for like 15 plays in a row, like every time Mahomes would throw the ball, he would like start nursing his hand. And I'm like, bro, either suck it up or get the fuck out of the game because I can't stand sitting here watching you rubbing your hand, nursing your hand. Like, just fucking stop. You're honestly embarrassing yourself at this point.
And it's like, nothing's broken. They've already confirmed, like, there's no broken bones or fractures or anything. It's just bruised. Like, it's not even, like, a huge deal. And I get, like, having to use that hand so much during the game,
but it's like, just fucking suck it up.
You're a football player. You get tackled every day. Like, come on.
Yeah, I feel like something has to hurt worse than like your hand getting a little bit. Not like I know anything about what it's like.
I know. We're like little wimpy little girls over here.
I'm just saying that.
I will say, I feel like, well, I know women's, like, pain threshold is way higher than guys, and so.
Oh my gosh, stop! You cannot even defend guys. So you're saying the man flu is a real thing.
It is.
No, I can't stand that. It's like if guys get sick, they are laid up like they're on their deathbed.
They
But when girls
are.
get sick, they're expected to just carry on and do their daily tasks. Except me, I don't.
Yeah, Diane
I'm
is the man flu.
I always have the man flu. I'm spoiled. I just am helpless. No, I'm just saying. I can think of a few
Bobby
friends in
literally
particular.
called my mother one time because I wouldn't go get him medicine.
Oh my God! Stop! So he told your mom to go get him.
No,
to
he
get him
called my
medicine?
mother to like tell on me. He was like, Sue, your daughter will not take care of me. I am sick.
Oh my God! Typical briefcase Bobby move. Tattling on his girlfriend and mama. That is hilarious.
And of course,
Oh
my mom
God.
was like, I'll bring it to you, sweetie.
Stop it. So what did you say?
I didn't say it. I was cracking up over in the other room.
Oh my God, I would have been like, you're fucking out of your mind right now. That is too
But
funny.
yes, man flu is a thing. I don't even like to take medicine if I don't have to.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
So I will try to suffer through whatever illness I
and
have.
where Bobby's like, give me the whole fucking pharmacy right now. I need
know.
everything.
Like, I've suffered with, like, migraines for my entire life, and I will wait until, like, it's an actual full-blown migraine before I take something.
She can't see. Like,
yeah,
her vision is gone black.
And at that point, I make Bobby go get me my Excedrin migraine.
And if he doesn't, goddammit, you better believe.
And if
Bobby's
he doesn't, I'm calling his mother.
Yeah, seriously. And the reason I brought that up about the whole Mahomes thing is because, like, everybody out there knows, unless you're a Patriots fan, that Tom Brady is just a whiny little fucking bitch. And it's like every single play that doesn't go their way, like every single pass that one of his receivers misses, they automatically start looking to the refs for a flag. And it's like, come on, you guys are such fucking bitches. I just can't deal with it. But I just want to say I thought it was a pretty even matchup for the whiny bitches of,
yeah, true.
of quarterbacks.
Well, speaking of the Patriots, Mr. Bill Belichick.
Oh my gosh,
His
yeah.
little disrespectful ass.
This
to
is
the
where
Texans coach Bill O'Brien.
he's learning shit from Baker. Baker's acting is rubbing off on people.
But yeah, he I guess the Texans coach was like looking for him or something to go shake his hand after the game.
Yeah.
And Bill Belichick just like straight up ignored him and
like was running from him. Almost. It looked like in the video. Like he was like, I'm taking a fucking beeline out of this fucking stadium right now just so I don't have to shake this guy's hand.
Yeah. And then when he finally did, he like barely touched him.
Yeah, it was like one of those pussy handshakes, you know, when you
Your
like
doctor one. Your doctor handshake.
Dude, okay.
I shook his hand this weekend too.
I have to tell you that to me has to be like one of the biggest turnoffs, guy or girl, like whether I'm meeting you as like a friend or like business, especially business-wise, or a guy, and I'm like, especially if it's a guy, but like I'm just saying whoever, and somebody introduces you and you shake my hand, and if you don't fucking grab my hand and shake it, like you're giving me one of these like dead fishtail, like sloppy, limp noodle fucking handoff things. Like
Bill Belichick.
That to me is just like disrespectful, and it's like that is to me like that's what I was always taught. Like going into interviews, like the way that you shake someone's hand, like speaks a lot about like.
I literally interviewed somebody today. And I went into the office, shook his hand, and
it was a pussy shake, and you were like, done.
It was a Belichick shake.
Yeah, like,
seriously, like
off, he
was like this big burly dude too, and I was just like, my grip is like stronger than yours. What is going on, sir?
You should have said, "Sir, are you okay?" Like, what the fuck?
I was nervous.
So, no, that is not. Don't man flu it.
Oh, I'm not man fluing it. Trust me, but still, I can't stand that.
Yeah, that to me is
it's like the first thing.
Bullshit.
It's the first thing you look for.
Yeah, literally. Like usually, honestly, this is actually like a huge. What do you want to call it? Like fucking deficit. I can't think of what the word is.
Deficit.
Yeah, like that. I have like a downfall deficit that I have when I meet somebody is that when I go to like shake their hand and like introduce myself to them, I'm so concentrated on making sure I say my name correctly and concentrating on my handshake and their handshake that I don't even listen to what they're telling me their name is.
I am the worst at that.
I honestly never listen.
No, I will be told somebody's name directly to my face, and 20 minutes later, I will forget that name.
Yeah, like I'm actually, it's not even that I forget, I'm literally straight up not listening at all. I should start making it a point that I like repeat their name back to them, but like I have anxiety, so like I'm always worried
I have
that like
severe social anxiety, so like that's what my issue is. My brain goes blank when I'm talking to
I'm like afraid I'm gonna forget my own name or like say something else and then be like, wait, what the fuck? Like that's not what I meant to say. So I like just like completely zone in and focus on the handshake and my name, and then so for anyone out there, if you've ever met me like 1 to 7 times and I still don't know your name, don't take it personally. I don't know anybody's name. I don't remember anyone's name.
However, if it's the 8th time, she just don't like you.
Yeah. Or if we met out somewhere and alcohol was involved, that could also be why I don't remember your name. So
true.
Using that as an excuse, I know how fucking wonderful.
Well, OBJ, he had to defend himself this week because he made some comment and then people took it the wrong way, saying that he was unhappy being with the Browns and that.
Well, I don't fucking blame him if he did say that.
I know, but then of course it becomes this huge deal and everybody's giving him shit for it. But so like he had to go out and tweet. I hate Twitter.
Here's the thing is that I feel like Baker Mayfield says something shitty like all the time and it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's expected from him, but if OBJ, like maybe people just think he has more class than that.
Yeah,
like,
probably.
Oh my God.
Been there longer. I don't know. Been in the league, I mean. But
I'm like with the Browns.
Yeah, no, just in the league. But so yeah, he had to like flat out say, look, I never once said that I was unhappy in Cleveland. I just want better results. And I'm like, yeah, you need better results.
Yeah, well, fuck, nobody blames him.
Seriously.
Except, I'll tell you who's blaming somebody, speaking of Baker Mayfield, is that apparently he said something about that OBJ isn't able to run to like his full ability this season because he had some kind of hernia during the off season or in camp or something that he thought that Baker thought that he should have had surgery for, but the trainers didn't think he needed surgery. Suddenly
Obviously Baker knows best.
Yeah, well, no, and then I guess he actually did put out a tweet again saying that, obviously I don't know the extent of the injury. I'm not a professional and that kind of thing, but I'm just saying that it would have been, just kind of defending himself saying that it would have been helpful if that was addressed, But so either way, apparently OBJ is not the only one in the drama spotlight. Baker's right alongside.
The Browns are always drama. That's it. But
yeah, Baker said that his intentions were not to throw. I'm quoting this from his Twitter. My intentions were not to throw our medical staff under the bus. No, I don't know all the facts about Odell's injury. It was emotionally answered because I can sense his frustration and I care about my team and putting us in the best position to win. I would say also Baker is
Baker.
Yeah, I feel like Baker's actually also frustrated because he talked himself up so hard and now here he is.
Yeah, he's like, I got OBJ to throw to. This is gonna be great. And
dude, I thought it was gonna be great. That has to be.
Karlee thought it was gonna be great.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's actually just one of the biggest upsets of the season. Like one of the
honestly though,
like ass backwards from what I thought was going to happen this year. I totally thought the Browns would at least be.
I'm pretty sure at the beginning of this year you guys said that
I thought they were in the Super Bowl.
Be in the Super Bowl.
I did. I was like, they're going all the way. I thought the Ravens were going to suck, to be honest. I didn't know about the Bengals or the Steelers, but now it's like just a total opposite, which I'm happy about. Don't get me wrong.
I know. I was going to say.
But what a total 360 or 180, whatever it would be.
180.
Yeah, 180.
360 or go right back the same direction.
What a total 180 from what I thought would happen.
Well, with that, hashtag save OBJ. Injuries.
Yeah, seriously.
Like we already mentioned, Mike Evans, he got hurt, hamstring injury.
Fucked. If I win and I go into the finals next week, I don't know what I'm going to do.
You're going to have to pick someone else up. You're not
waiver wire, and we don't have waiver wire picks this week.
You're still going to have to do your research.
Yeah.
Jared Cook got a concussion. Mark Andrews has a knee injury. Diane also has him, but she has backup. She has the rest of the Ravens team.
Yeah, I have the whole Ravens team, guys, but I do have Zach Ertz if I need to.
But he plays Thursday night, so I doubt he'll play.
Zach Ertz it'll be, so get your shit together, Zach.
Like we said, Mahomes with his baby hand injury.
Well, which, again, is nothing. I'm sure, unless something fucking crazy happens.
Winston,
sure
on the
he'll be
other
fine.
hand, has a small thumb fracture, and it's an actual fracture. So
yeah, this kind of changes things. I mean, for the entire Bucks offense,
it really does.
which kind of sucks because we're going to give you guys some sit starts this week, and depending on what the outcome of Winston's injury is, if he ends up playing or not. Well, either way, with Mike Evans out,
you're still going to have
to start somebody on that team because somebody's going to have to get the ball to them. But so
and then DJ Chark also is week to week for. Sorry, I said it. I don't know why I just apologized. You're happy about it.
I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
I said the word.
Oh.
DJ Chark is week to week due to an ankle injury as well. So.
All right.
He's really owned.
DJ Chark? I think he was one that we suggested, actually.
We did.
And that's why he's that
one. That's of course. Everyone heard it on Ride Waivers and they went straight to it.
Yeah. Our huge following. They're like, oh my God, we got to pick him up. These bitches know what they're talking about. Well, guess what we do? We just actually like to give them like 3 to 4 weeks ahead of time. So by the time... we've given them to you 3 or 4 weeks later. That's when they're going to start doing it. We give them to you well in advance, so you can.
We're ahead of the game. We're overachievers, all right.
That's what we try to tell people, anyways. All right, so let's get into it for our starts and sits for the week. So we're only going to be giving you guys 2 per position. Not 2. We're going to be giving you 1 sit, 1 start per position. Sorry that we don't have more. We thought Karlee would be here. It was kind of a last minute decision that we weren't going to make her drive here with her injuries.
With a broken back.
Yeah. So
Karlee needs to be on the injury report as well.
But like we said, if you guys have any questions for start sits, please throw them at us on Instagram. We'll be more than happy to help you. I don't know if you didn't catch it already, but we're not doing any more waiver picks for the rest of the season. We're into the playoffs now. Things are going to be wrapping up. I know in our league, we're finishing playoffs this week, and then next week is the final showdown. So there really isn't much left at all to fantasy football. But so to finish off the fantasy season, we just decided to do some sit starts. So to start that off, I'm going to start with running backs. I'm gonna actually give you guys 2. I'm going to say to start James White against the Bengals. James White plays for the Patriots. He was kind of looking a little bit shitty. Yeah. The whole beginning of the year.
Yeah.
That's kind of probably exaggerating a little bit. But recently, he stepped up a lot, and they're playing the Bengals, so I don't really need to say much more than that. I would definitely be starting him.
Fair.
Also, I would start Mark Ingram. I have to say because he's a Raven. Mm-hmm. But they're going to be playing the Jets on Thursday, which if you guys didn't learn anything from...
Miami.
Yeah. I think Mark Ingram will have a good game, fingers crossed for me, for both fantasy and for real life. And my sit running back for the week is going to be Mixon, that plays for the Bengals. They're playing the Patriots, so that should kind of speak for itself.
Yeah. I have Kareem Hunt against the Cardinals. He obviously has only been in for a couple of games now since he was suspended the first half of the season.
This poor guy. Oh, well, no, you're saying to start him. I'm like, you're back sitting your ass.
No, I say start him. I actually picked him up off the waiver wire a few weeks ago. I didn't play him the first week that he was back because, I didn't know how he was going to do.
Yeah.
But he's actually been doing pretty well. I feel like he's progressing each game, too. I feel like he's getting the ball more because they're starting to trust him more.
It's not hard to look good on the Browns. When everybody looks like shit,
I know,
you have a better chance of looking good. So
Kareem Hunt doesn't have a hip injury. He can run.
Yeah. He doesn't have a hernia, so play him. Start his ass. Don't start OBJ. Just kidding. Yeah.
And they're playing the Cardinals. Enough said. And then for the sit, I have actually Le'Veon Bell. Which he was out last week.
P.S. I'm pissed about. I did not
shut up. It doesn't even matter.
I did not know that this motherfucker was out. This is why you always have to be checking your lineup all the time. It was game day. I didn't check my lineup for my one league, and I'm in the fucking playoffs, and I didn't check. Bell was out, and I didn't even know it. So I got a big fat fucking 0, which I'll still take over -8 from the 49ers. I'm very salty about that. But anyways, so yeah, always check your lineup, and fuck you, Bell, for being out last week?
He was out last week because he had the flu. So that's why it wasn't like an injury thing or anything. But
we're going to sit him this week because...
Well, because he's playing the Ravens, one.
Exactly.
And two, because, I mean, yeah.
The man flu. Because of the man flu. That's why.
That is the reason.
It probably will take a good 2 to 3, 6, 8 weeks to recover.
Obviously, that's how it usually is. So yeah, that's my sit start for my running backs.
All right, let's hit wide receiver. I have start Emmanuel Sanders for the 49ers against the Falcons. Sanders had a really good week this week. Mm-hmm. He threw a fucking touchdown, which is insane, but amazing.
This week. And didn't Josh set him?
Yeah.
So we'll give Josh a little bit of evening out there.
No, Josh just made all poor decisions this week. What are you talking about? That doesn't even things out at all. That makes it that much worse. We were going to have Josh on the show tonight, and then we're like, no, Josh,
Josh is not allowed. He makes poor decisions.
Yeah, you lost that privilege of being on the show. So anyways, that's going to be my star is Emmanuel Sanders against the Falcons. They're not looking too great. So
their defense is not good.
Yeah, they are just not good. And then my sit, I might get some hate for this one. I'm saying to sit Diggs against the Chargers, especially if Thielen is back.
Is Thielen coming back?
I don't know yet, but I think that's kind of still up in the air. But I just feel like Diggs has been extremely hit or miss all season, and I just don't trust him against the Chargers defense. And I just think there's better people out there. I mean, if you don't have anyone better, then obviously you're going to start him. But if you have the choice, I would sit him this week.
Yeah. I say start Chris Godwin against the Redskins. Oh, sorry, not the Redskins. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Against the Lions. I was like, wait, that's not right.
Oh, yeah.
Should know who the Bucks play. So yeah, Chris Godwin against the Lions, especially if Evans is still out, which is looking like he's going to be. Hopefully there's not going to be too big of an issue with Winston and his thumb, but even if there is, someone still has to get the ball. So, and then I say sit Julio Jones, which pains me because I have him, but he's just been underperforming.
Yeah.
I feel. And
I feel like I haven't heard a lot about him this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he just got a huge contract this year, so he needs to up his game.
I feel like that's what happens.
Yeah.
People get more money and they just say, fuck it, I don't have to try it anymore because I'm making the big bucks. That's, I feel like, what happened to Joe Flacco back with the Ravens.
Probably.
Then he went to shit and then we got rid of his ass.
Yeah. But he's playing the 49ers, so even though the 49ers did not do well this week.
Please. Well, no, the 49ers did well. They won, but their defense did.
I meant the defense. Oh. Sorry.
All right, let's go to quarterback. I might also regret this one, but I'm going to say start Baker Mayfield this week.
Whoa.
I know, but they're playing the Cardinals, so I'm going to give the Browns that little last beam of hope that maybe they can do something. I don't really know. Let's hope that Baker and Hunt
they can go together,
connect and have a good week, so you and I don't look bad for doing these. This is our first week doing shit starts. But yeah, I mean the Cardinals, they're not that great. So I feel like if this is going to be a week for Baker to shine, or if there's going to be a time for Baker to shine, this is probably going to be it. And another inconsistent fuck is Matt Ryan. And he's playing against the 49ers this week, so I would have him sat on my motherfucking bench. Do not start him.
Nope. I have start Wentz against the Redskins.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually have him in both of my leagues, and I hadn't played him in either one.
I forget about him.
I know. Well, he has been less than impressive throughout
that's like
the
such a
season, but he did actually step his game up. But oh damn it. So
I'm not even paying attention.
I know. Well, I always catch myself. I don't know how. But anyways, he's been stepping it up a little bit, and they're playing the Redskins.
I thought you were going to say he's been stepping it up the little bitch. Yeah, I wish
Mahomes.
I need to pay more attention to him, I guess. I forget about him.
Well, because he was less than impressive throughout the majority of the year. The issue with him, in the beginning of this year, he was giving me such anxiety because he would be negative points almost to the half.
So Winston.
Yeah, exactly.
Him and Winston. But I know a lot about Winston because I have Mike Evans, so I pay attention to him. And
he's been on the Eagles.
Yeah, well, no, I have Zach Ertz, but I'm just like,
yeah.
I don't really. Well, I shouldn't expect much from Evans either, but I don't know why. I feel like Wentz just always falls under my radar for some reason.
It makes sense. He's a good quarterback, but he's just not like performing really. He, like I said, would start out awful, but then he would come back and do amazing in the second half, and then he would get me like 20-something points. So it's like anxiety driven, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth it in my opinion, especially against the Redskins. With that being said, sit Josh Allen against the Steelers.
Yeah.
Allen had a really rough game. I know he played the Ravens, but...
Dude, okay, so you're playing the Ravens, and now you're going up against the Steelers back to back.
Exactly.
And the Steelers' defense has been killing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they've been doing really well.
Like,
so I say
shitting
Josh
well.
Allen.
I actually am like shocked at how good.
I actually gave Bobby advice about that one. He asked me because he had the idea to start Tannehill over Josh Allen. He was like, "Do you think this is a good idea?" Because Josh Allen has been really consistently good the past few games.
They have a hard matchup this week. I feel like I can't think of who they play off the top of my head.
Tannehill.
Yeah, I'm saying the Titans have a tough matchup. Let me bring it up real quick because I can't think of who it is off the top of my head. But when I saw it, I was like, "Ooh, this is kind of a questionable matchup." I don't know that because when I
don't remember. I don't think I looked at that one. But yeah, so I did tell Bobby that he should do Tannehill over Josh Allen.
Oh, the Texans.
Oh yeah.
Titans Texans. They're both 8-5, so that's going to be
a good game.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to tight end. I also, even though Winston is I actually read somewhere that Winston is like just one of the worst NFL quarterbacks, which I was like, dude, that is such a crazy statement. But like,
well, doesn't he have the most like? I saw somewhere.
He has
the most interceptions, but the most thrown touchdowns or something like that.
Yeah.
In the same season.
Talk about a love-hate relationship. I have a love-hate relationship with him and my...
Trust me, I'm a Bucs fan.
Yeah, this is why I'm not a Bucs fan. This is why you will never...
Too much anxiety.
You'll never convert
Diane has enough anxiety to begin with.
But for tight ends, I'm going to say to start O.J. Howard for the Bucs against the Lions, especially if Evans is still out. I do agree Godwin is going to get most of the looks, but for a tight end, I'd say that O.J. Howard's probably going to get a lot if Evans is out.
Mm-hmm.
And for my sit, I have Hooper for the Falcons playing against, again, the 49ers defense. I know that they did me wrong this week, but they've been looking pretty good all year. So I think that Falcons 49ers game is just going to be a fucking shit show. So I would be sitting Hooper.
I think that's good.
I'm glad you think so.
I agree. Tight ends, I have to start, and this might sound kind of obvious, George Kittle against the Falcons. Because I mean he's been a little bit inconsistent lately.
But I feel like if you have Kittle, you're starting him.
You should. You definitely should. But like I said, might be a little bit obvious.
What do you think about Hunter Henry this week?
I put him as my sit.
That's your sit?
Yeah.
I was considering him for a sit, honestly, because I feel like everybody really, really likes him.
They do.
And he is decent, but just the matchup this week.
They're against the Vikings, so that's a pretty tough defense.
Oh yeah.
So I have him as my sit, Hunter Henry.
All right. So defense. And this isn't because I'm a Ravens fan. I mean, maybe it slightly is, but I'm going to say start the Ravens defense against the Jets. The Ravens have been doing really well. The Jets have been doing really fucking poor, like just all around. So I would go ahead and start the Ravens this week. And this is going to be probably another crazy one to some people. I would sit the Bears defense.
I feel like they've been underperforming too as a defense.
I just feel like, whenever anybody talks about the Bears, all you think about is their defense. Whenever anyone talks about great defenses.
Well, because last year they were like unstoppable.
Yeah, you always think about the Bears, but they've just been, I don't think they're a safe bet. I would go ahead and sit them, especially against Aaron Rodgers, who's been just absolutely tearing it up out there. I think you're going to be in a Drew Brees 49ers position like I was this past week. So I wouldn't chance it. I'd sit the Bears this week.
All right. Well, I have the Patriots to start against the Bengals.
Well, that's obvious.
When you said the Ravens.
I know, but it's like the Patriots and the Bengals. It's like...
The Patriots had some bad games too.
I feel like they've been amazing. Not that I
The
want to
majority
say
of
that.
the time, they are the number one defense.
Their defense has been literally Josh's biggest point scoring.
Well, they were at the beginning of the season. They were hitting like close to 30.
Yeah,
almost every
they have kind of tapered off.
But they tapered off, and so I know some people that have been benching them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Just depending on their matchup. I wouldn't personally, but I mean, they, like I said, if they have a couple bad weeks, if it's a bad matchup, then But this week's it's a good matchup against the Bengals. So
clearly, unless you've been living under a rock the entire football season, the Bengals suck. Yeah. We'll just let you know. And the Patriots should have a good game
obvious choice, but
them.
Just do it.
Just do it, yeah.
And then my sit is the Jaguars against Oakland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I think Oakland's been doing pretty good this year, personally.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be tough. I feel like
they're like kind of sliding under the radar good type thing.
Well, I'm just concerned, I guess, because Josh Jacobs, who's one of their biggest players, is out right now, injured. Yeah. And I don't know. I guess I don't know. That's a risky one. We'll have to see. Watch that be like literally the best decision of all.
Yep. I'm calling it.
The Jags will end up with like negative 15 points, and I'll be like, damn, Tanya saved the day with that one. So we'll see how it goes. So those are our start sits. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, if you hate any of the ones that we said, if you think we're way off base, feel free to let us know. We will be posting these as we try to always post our picks. And so if you see anybody else that you're thinking maybe we should have added that we didn't put on there, let us know, and we'd be happy to
give our opinion.
Yeah, give our opinion, throw it out there. And like we said, go ahead and ask away if you have any that you're kind of torn between, especially if you're in the playoffs and you just want some other advice and don't trust to ask anybody on your fantasy team. Go ahead and feel free to ask us. We'll let you know, and we won't ask Josh. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll never ask Josh for advice anymore. But
and so our whiner of the week, I know we've already said him before, and I know you guys don't really give two shits because you don't know him. But this is kind of a good lesson that anything can happen in fantasy football. So our one guy that's in our fantasy league, his name's Jeff. He has been literally the number one person in our league
the entire year. By like a lot.
Yeah, and he just lost in the playoffs.
He's out of the playoffs.
So he is out.
Thanks to none other than Briefcase Bobby.
Briefcase is proud of himself. He's taking the whole thing. His team has scored so high, like
recently. I mean, his team's been good all year, but he had like shit luck throughout his matchups.
Yeah.
Because he has the most points scored against him by far, like 200 points.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just feel like his team just is so stacked. Like, I look at his team and I'm just like, holy shit.
He never did bad. But he just got unlucky with whoever he played against.
Yeah.
Would just ball out. Karlee beat him. And Carly's like almost, she's second to last in our
Yeah, whereas we have who I'm playing, Marissa, has had great luck. Where
same thing, just opposite.
Yeah, she has super lucky matchups where she's hated her team all season. She's literally had to, and that's another good point, is she has literally had to live off of the waiver wire, and she's now playing against me in the playoffs, and
that's kind of close.
Yeah, it's literally 12 points. Like, I need Saquon and Ertz to fucking.
Which sounds like it would be like
like a safe bet, but it has not.
But it hasn't been. Ertz and Barkley have been like not doing shit.
It's fucking really depressing actually. When your number one pick is like, oh, I can't depend on him to give me 12 points. That's really fucking depressing.
Yeah.
And I really am hoping that Marissa can get on here at some point before the end of the season. She was actually going to do this show with us, but she has a little baby at home who's under a year old, so she's pretty tied up between school. She's going for her nurse practitioner and having a baby, and and working still, so it's just a lot. So we're hoping to have her on here at some point. She's really, really good with fantasy football, super intelligent about it. So if not, though, next season we'll for sure have her on here. Hopefully things will be slowed down a little bit by then. But our whiner of the week, with all of that being said, is going out to Mr. Jeff Poley. sorry, man, you put up a good fight all season, but anything can happen in fantasy. So
Yes, I can.
cheers to you. And with that said, hopefully Karlee will be back with us next week. And I cannot wait for her to tell you her story.
Gosh. It's literally
if you tune in for nothing else, just tune in to hear the story because it's just fucking crazy and amazing.
You can't dream this stuff.
Yeah,
it was
like
just a movie.
Absolutely amazing to me. I was just like, is this really happening right now? And look out for her video, her challenge video, whenever she's uninjured.
We're hoping that's going to happen sometime this week.
We need to get her ass to the chiropractor so we can get her back in the game. And so I guess I'm going to let Tanya, you go ahead and hit the socials for Karlee this week.
Right.
Put you on the spot. Do it.
No, make sure to follow us on all of our socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all of that. Listen to us wherever you can find podcasts.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
YouTube, we put it up on there too, along with our challenge videos. So
at Wine and Waivers.
Yes, at Wine and Waivers.
Spread the word. It's almost over for the season, guys, but coming next season, we'll have our show all over again. And
who knows, we might find a little something for you in the meantime.
In the off season, yeah, we're still playing with some ideas. So we'll be sure to keep you guys tuned in. And as always, please hit us up on social media with any questions. And we'll have our wine of the week posted for you. Also, if you have any favorite holiday wines that you like that you want to give a shout out to for us to talk about on our podcast, let us know because I love holiday wines. They're my favorite. So with that said, we will see you guys next week. Good luck to any of you guys in the playoffs and chug your wine and work your waivers.
Cheers.